Okay, today we're starting a new series. Good old Street Rod. This game really was one of the earliest driving games that I really got excited about. So today we're going to play through it and a bit of step back in time for some people. I'm just going to create my usual character. Now, the great thing about this game was the way that it allowed people to choose their own path through it to some degree. You start off with $750. You have to buy a used car. Now, of course, there's lots of cars that cost a whole lot more money than you start off with. I thought I would go with something really, really basic, just for the fun of stepping through it. Obviously, with $750, I can get something pretty decent and progress a bit quicker. But I'm going to go for the basic transportation car. There's one in here. Which one is it? Basic transportation. There we go, for $475. Oh yeah. Let's get it. Alrighty, so first thing we want to do though is take a look at its specs. I only got a maximum speed of 98 miles per hour, which is better than some of the other basic cars. The bonus of this one is it starts with a V8. Even if it's not the biggest V8, it still starts with one. And you'll notice it's a GM. Obviously, it's going to have a very basic manifold and a single 2-barrel carb. And auto transmission as well, which is not going to get us very far. First thing I want to do is put some racing slicks on here though. Bottom of the racing slicks. There we are. And of course we have to sit back and wait. I always thought the irony is those racing slicks, the pattern of them when they first go on while it's still up on the jack, looks so much better than what it looks like when it drops the car to the ground. I never understood why they went from that to this. But anyway. Next thing we want to do, lighten our weight, strip the bumpers, and chop the roof. Got just enough. Now what is that going to do for our speed? Now we're up to 103, not bad. One other thing I'm going to do, take a look at our engine. There's our V8 with our basic manifold and carb. But we want to make sure it's tuned. See how much better that sounds already? Alrighty. One last thing we're going to do. Oh, leaving us $5 spare change. We're going to add red because, you know, red goes faster. So I say. Alright, we are ready to roll. So we're looking at a 107 mile per hour car. Let's get out there and earn some cash. For anyone who doesn't recall how the game mechanics work, the goal of this game is to beat the king. The king is another driver, basically. You want to try and beat him to beat his, to take his car in a pink slips race, but he won't challenge you until you have done enough drag races and road races. So let's start off with some drag races. We don't have enough money for either. I've really put myself at a problem here. I've agreed to a race without any prize money, which is a bit silly too. But anyway, here's a good introduction to how the drag races work. The drag race is a long single stretch of track. There's no obstacles, no turns, obviously. So as long as you get in front of them and as long as they don't knock you off course, you really can just hold down the forwards key. Yeah, you won. Too bad you didn't bet though. So we've got a problem. I have not given us enough money to do a drag race, so I'm going to have to do a pink slips race. Just to get some money. So let's just hope that I've got the performance to beat this guy. It's one thing to get in front of him. It's another thing to stay in front of him, as you're going to see. Now we start off on the normal drag racing stretch. And as much as any hardcore racing game player will normally say, in this game you don't stay on the racing line, because there's obstacles when you come out of turns and they can really catch you off guard like that. So I tend to stick to the center line best I can, and it's quite funny to do this because you'll see we're not even skidding as we just glide through these corners. Well, there we are, there's a skid. And part of the reason for that is our car is really not that high performance just yet. But certainly the money we'll win from this will allow us to progress. Interestingly, the automatic transmission is holding the maximum speed of the car without over revving. There we go, we won. You just won a hell of a car. If instead you've got a manual gearbox, which is what we are going to move to very quickly, you can actually blow the engine by over revving even at top speed. So you've got to actually be careful not to do that. Alright, there's our Oldsmobile we just won. Now it's come back putting this car in the garage, which suggests it might be faster than our current car. So let's compare. So maximum speed of 104. Versus our 104. So that's interesting. Not sure why it's considered the other one faster. Anyway. Is there something about it that's better? Well, it's got a 4-barrel carb. Still auto transmission. But anyway, let's see which one's worth more. I'm guessing this car might be worth more. So an Oldsmobile 88 1949. Because we're going to sell the car and get the money for it. And looking for it. Oldsmobile. That's the one. Okay, that's selling for $1,850. Not bad. Our cheap car has managed to win an $1,800 car. So let's sell it. Let's try for $1,600. Oh, we're close. Reject that. We'll just see if we can get 16. No. Okay. So we go 15. See if they'll come up. Nope. Okay, 14. There we go. I drive a hard bargain. Ha ha. There we go.